Welcome to the start of my playthrough of XCOM Long War. XCOM Enemy Within Long War. On classic difficulty with the following second wave options, assuming I actually remember what options I normally choose. Hidden potential, absolutely critical, cinematic mode, liberators to make it a really long war. Itchy trigger tentacles because it's more fun if they don't go into Overwatch, they actually shoot you. Commander's choice because I like to choose what my soldiers are going to look like. Aiming angles, hidden trees, and the friendly skies. And I think that's all of them. 3, 7, 8, 11, 14, 18, 19, 21 and 24, yep. And start the game. I will shut up during cutscenes, so you get to watch them if you so desire. Those who play with the devil's toys will be brought by degrees to wield his sword by Buckminster Fuller, a man with a lot of famous quotes. Now I'll shut up.
Hello, Commander. In light of the recent extraterrestrial incursion, this Council of Nations has convened to approve the activation of the XCOM project. You have been chosen to lead this initiative, to oversee our first and last line of defense. Your efforts will have considerable influence on this planet's future. We urge you to keep that in mind as you proceed. Good luck, Commander.
I have to admit this game does very nice cutscenes. Okay, my plan is start in China with the bonus of xenological remedies. 100% bonus cash from alien corpse and wreck sales. Continent bonus is standard, but I just happen to like starting in China, so that's why I'm starting.
Australia has sent a number of requests for assistance, so that's our next drop site. We've picked up a local broadcast indicating alien activity within a major metropolitan area. We should get down there and eliminate any hostiles.
And I will try and keep the Sky Ranger scenes, at least for a while. Cutscenes, I'll leave them alone, I won't bypass them, until they become too repetitive and boring.
Strike 1, this is Central. You are free to engage all hostile contacts in the AO. Don't take any chances.
Okay, a few things to note with this playthrough. as you can tell, all the soldiers have more hit points than normal. They also move faster and have higher will, because I got tired of them panicking all the time, especially in the early game. But that's the major changes. The arc thrower is back to almost normal, the normal game arc thrower when that comes into it. And the extra movement, well, there's a reason for the extra movement and hit points. When you play the normal Long War default setup, you've got a limited movement, which means you are always going to do things relatively cautiously. Well, it can be slow, so I decided to make them faster, to make the scenarios faster. But of course, if you make them faster, you tend to move greater distances without knowing what's in the way, so you tend to get shot at a lot more, hence the need for extra hit points, when the will is just stop people panicking. There's also a lot more Germans, Brits, Irish and Scots, as well as a few other nations, as the main choice of soldiers, mainly because I tend to like those, and they should all speak their natural languages as well when they speak, which I've done because I don't like all my soldiers talking American or even just talking English at me. So hence I've got them all to move faster, speak their own languages, and as they have more hit points, just so that they can move faster without dying all the time. There is in the Long War, when it installs, there is a file default game core, I think it's called.
Alien life on Earth. We're witnessing something never before seen in recorded history.
Yes, also try and avoid talking over Dr. Valen or Shen or Commander Braddock whenever they speak during the scenario. But yeah, there's a file called default game core, which you can adapt in a variety of ways. It's explained in the README and it's explained in the file itself. So you can always go and change it to how you want to play the game. Oh yes, they've also got slightly better accuracy, because I got tired of rookies coming in that couldn't shoot to save their lives. It just made the game annoying, and there's enough things in my life that annoy me that I didn't want one more.
Alien neutralizado.
Their weapons appear to self-destruct when the operator dies. We should look closely for any fragments that could be salvaged for our own development programs.
Yes, and that's either in this scenario or one of the other early scenarios with a bunch of rookies. I tend to throw a grenade at aliens for the very simple reason that Valen then complains, so I like to get her complaints out of the way early so she doesn't keep interrupting me in later scenarios.
Kill confirmed.
Sie wollen sich zurückziehen!
Like I said, all the soldiers speak in their natural language, so I've got no idea what that one just said. It might have been useful and interesting, but I could not tell you because did not understand a word she said. And actually, if I move too far, I'm going to be in trouble.
rolling.
But
Enemy troops!
there they are. Oh, and there's some more. How far can you throw a grenade? Not quite far enough. Not quite far enough.
Kill confirmed.
Yes, I like to get the grenade throwing out of the way early, just to get the complaint out of the way early. Like this. Hopefully.
Commander, You may want to instruct your men to exercise restraint when using explosives. While certainly effective at killing aliens, they also destroy the artifacts we're hoping to recover from the bodies. Just something to consider.
Yeah. What can I say? Varlin talks too much, but at least that's that complaint out the way. And like I say, I tend to run
Commander, fire!
too far, too fast, because it makes the scenario more fun. So naturally I get shot at in Overwatch a lot more. Okay, we'll take this guy.
Go.
It makes the early game, I wouldn't say necessarily easy as such, because you can still screw up big time, but it makes it easier. However, when it comes to the later game, and as I tend to play this game and get to things like Mission 200, where killing anybody is difficult, it's more useful in the later game when you want to keep going for basically a long time. Then that's when all these additional changes to the soldiers actually make the game more interesting then, rather than just watching your guys you've worked with for 200 missions get slaughtered.
Zack und weg.
Plus, as I say, it's on classic difficulty rather than normal, which if you read the README for Long War is always a play this on normal, play this on normal, play this on normal. Well, I've done that, so now I want to play on classic. Yes, and as you probably already know, Long War has been out, well, sorry, XCOM Enemy Within and the Long War mod have been around for a long time now. So you could have watched dozens of people play this on videos on YouTube already. However, I still like it. It's fun. I played XCOM 2 and it was okay, but this was still more fun. Although XCOM 2 Long War mod has just relatively recently been released, so I may give that another try. Oh no, Pigment Melder. Oh, you need a shot at again. And you're going to get hit.
And I'm Commander. Locked
So,
and
yeah.
loaded.
The XCOM 2 Long War may be fun. I don't know, I haven't tried it yet, but it looks like it could have added an actual decent degree of fun to XCOM 2. Because I wasn't enjoying XCOM 2 a great deal.
Look out.
Hence the reason I keep playing this one. But I will check that out at some point and find out.
Yes,
But for now, XCOM is fun enough.
Good work out there, Strike One.
If I may, Commander, the labs are on high alert. Teams are standing by for your orders. We can begin researching the newly recovered artifacts immediately.
I love the way she interrupts. Just like that, but her arrogance annoys me.
Commander to the research labs. Commander to the research labs.
Welcome to XCOM HQ, Commander. I'm Central Officer Bradford. My role in this project is twofold: providing tactical support for our field operations, and keeping you briefed on the current situation. My efforts should allow you to focus on the bigger issues at hand. Speaking of which, we have a soldier waiting for a promotion in the barracks. I'll let you get to it.
I'm trying to remember, did I call him Braddock earlier rather than Bradford? I'm terrible with names.
Outstanding. Not only did our troops return safely,
but the meld they recovered will certainly advance our development of new technologies based on this substance.
Okay, they all got promoted, but I get to choose what class they're in, even though they give them one to start with.
The recovered artifacts are being unloaded, and the research team is waiting your orders. We'll get started as soon as you give the order, Commander.
Right, okay, I'll go through them in order. Starting at research, which is another cutscene, so I'll shut up again.
Hello, Commander. My name is Dr. Valen. I oversee the research labs. This is where all of XCOM's research and development takes place. We have already begun analyzing the artifacts recovered from our first encounter with the aliens. Based on our preliminary findings, we believe we can use them to develop some new equipment for our soldiers. With your approval, we will begin research immediately.
Yes, you have my approval to begin research. And you will even research alien weaponry. I'm not going to read this because you're perfectly capable of reading that by yourself. But I know...
Commander, I realize our troops have to put their own survival first, but every alien we use explosives against is one less opportunity to recover new artifacts.
You done complaining now, woman? Saying, I know I'm going to need better weaponry fast. It was bad enough on normal level in Long War. Yes, of how far behind you are in the weaponry. So in classic mode or classic level, it's going to require better weapons as soon as possible.
Ah, Commander. I was wondering when you'd be stopping by. Welcome to engineering. Anything they can dream up in the research labs, we can build it here. Speaking of which, Dr. Valen has just sent us some new schematics. With your approval, we will begin fabrication.
I like Shen.
Commander to mission control. Commander to mission control.
We've still got some room to grow up here, but if we really want to expand our facilities, we're going to have to start excavating beneath the base. Unfortunately, the deeper we go, the more it's going to cost.
Excavate that and build the lift down a level.
Work crews are on their way to begin construction. I'll send word when the new facility is operational.
Okay, well there's steam over there for thermogeneration, there's one on that level. I tend to put the satellite, Nexus satellite uplinks over that area, the workshops over that area, and the labs normally over there. The oddities down
Commander
here.
to mission control.
The
Commander
power
to
will
mission
probably end
control.
up over there somewhere. And labs. I think I'll still go with the labs over here. And the oddities over this direction. But we'll see how it goes. As always, my plans are eminently changeable. Oh, the other thing I always start doing because they get shot down fast.
Commander,
a new
our current
satellite.
satellite uplink facilities are at full capacity. We should build additional uplinks as soon as possible to allow for new satellite deployments.
Right. The barracks. You start with 40 soldiers. You should see quite a few Brits, Germans, Scots and Irish. Yes, there's Argentinians, I assume these are Spanish, Chinese, Swedish, Israeli, Chinese, Italian. No, sorry,
Commander to
that's
mission
Irish.
control. Commander to mission
I'm
control.
terrible with flags. I have no idea what that flag is. That's got to be French. But I tend to make the British females medics purely because I choose to, and I tend to make my medics officers. So if you're British female, the odds are you're going to be a medic and you're going to be an officer. Germans are frequently snipers. Odd nations tend to be assaulters, and
Commander
a lot of it
to
depends
mission
on
control.
your movement stat,
Commander
to be honest,
to mission control.
because they all shoot about the same-ish. So they all have relatively similar will and relatively similar hit points, but you can get anything ranging from, say, 31 down to, so I can find one, 22, down to about 19, 18 movement. So 31 movement tends to make you a scout. Now, high 20s movement, you might make you a gunner because you can still move fast enough carrying a big gun. Mid movement tend to be infantry or grenadiers. I tend not to use rocketeers, and I tend not to use mechs as well, but I will probably use some at some point. But then guys like this oddity who can hardly move, well, compared to the others, can hardly move. So I have no idea what that flag is at all. But Tigris Jazray, sorry. Well, no idea.
Commander
We'll end up
to mission
as
control. Commander to mission control.
Leon Weber will probably end up being a scout, whereas Tanya Houseman will probably end up being a sniper. But that's just a guess. Anyway, that was me chuntering on when I could be doing something. This guy is Belgian, I believe. Yeah, I'm terrible with flags. So if
The
I get a
heavy
flag
weapons
wrong,
specialist provides a
apologize.
crucial service to the squad. With the rocket launcher in tow, there are demolitions experts. Just like it sounds, the support class provides that intangible edge our squads need. They make everyone around them better.
Yeah, and this guy is going to be a grenadier, just because his stats are medium, so I get to choose.
Commander to mission control. Commander to mission control.
Ethan McAllister, a nice little Scotsman.
Our snipers specialize in dealing massive amounts of damage from afar, but without sufficient training, they're vulnerable in close combat situations.
Yeah, you're Scottish. You can carry a big gun. You're German.
Commander to mission control.
Youngblood.
Commander to mission control.
The assault class serves as our front line. They're the first ones into a fight, and the last ones out.
And you can be a sniper. I tend to have a few snipers because I tend to frequently use two on the same mission. This guy is Argentinian, I believe. He's going to be a thug.
Commander to mission control. Commander to mission control.
This nice lady, Young Sang, has got some decent movement, so we'll make her a scout. Kobe Lambert
Commander to mission
also
control.
appears to be
Commander
Belgian.
to mission control.
You can be... Actually, you can join your fellow Belgian as a grenadier. Now, some of these names will change because I will adapt them, and when they get nicknames I will adapt some of the nicknames as well. But that's it for the moment. Right, as I always do in the hangar, and there's going to be Shen's going to talk when I get in there and click on a plane. I go into the hangar and I rename all the Ravens to it, so they've actually got flight officer whatever name, because that way they can get promoted and they get slightly better the higher rank they are. So you'll see what I'm saying as soon as Shen starts
Commander to
talking.
mission control. Commander to
When
mission
selecting a
control.
specific jet within the hangar, you can choose to modify its current weapon loadout to best serve our needs.
Right, hit the rename, and I pretty much accept whatever they get renamed to unless I've already seen the name once. And I must admit my Raven pilots don't tend to last too long, so you know, I tend to go through quite a lot of names.
Every member of the council is going to want satellite coverage, so we should plan our deployments carefully.
I'm just going to click on this so he gets his other little speech out of the way as well.
Several members of the council have expressed an interest in acquiring some of the artifacts we've recovered. However, we should be careful in choosing what items we release. The research team may not have discovered their true value yet.
Right. Now, as I keep saying, Commander to mission control. So here I go to mission control, where nothing is happening, so I will just scan for events.
We've got a large contact and it's coming in fast. We're going to have a difficult time keeping up with this one.
Okay, let's see what it looks like. I don't think I'm going to be able to shoot it down. And I'm not going to have much fun
We have eyes on the
fighting it
bandit.
with a bunch of rookies if it lands. Oh, we hit it once, twice,
Eaten up here!
3 times. Time to get out of there. Yeah, that's big.
Contact detected.
And it landed. Well, I don't care. I'm going to send the Sky Ranger anyway. This is the joy of Long War, and I assume the classic level, because UFO 1 is something large, with a lot of people in it, and all I've got are pretty much at this stage rookies. So this should be interesting. I will just set up the rookies I'm going to send. Like good old Constant Roy here, because she can move pretty fast. Jessica, because she's British. Going to be a lot of females, but say la vie. Oh, Leon can move pretty fast as well. That's a horrible moustache. As a fashion choice, that's a mistake. Yeah, we'll take Amelia Burton. And that Swedish flag? I think that's the Swedish flag. However, take Juan Martin Fernandez. Right, so we edit them. Okay, because they've only going to have the basic stuff, so they're going to need. You can have that and that. You can prepare for your next career anyway with that. You can have that and that. PFC Weber. As if you read the explanation or the readme of Long War, it says there will be fights you cannot do or you should not try early on, or you should retreat from early on, and this is entirely possibly one that I will end up retreating from, because they really aren't capable of taking on something this large. However, they might get quite a few kills out of it before it becomes too difficult. You never know. Right, we'll go back to briefing, and this is the point I will stop episode 1. That was the basics of the setup for my Long War playthrough. Hopefully, I'll see you on episode 2. Bye.